Top 5 amazing details in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. The very first trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home has been officially released. Fans have been chomping at the bit to learn details about the upcoming MCU film, which lands in December this year. And finally, we've been given our first look at what's in store. So in today's video, allow us to break down for you the top 5 amazing details in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. A little about Spider-Man No Way Home. The ominously titled Spider-Man No Way Home is proving to be the most anticipated Marvel Cinematic Universe movie since Avengers Endgame. The first trailer set the internet aflame thanks to some familiar faces from previous Spider-Man films. No Way Home is likely the last time we'll see Spider-Man in the MCU since Sony's contract to lend character to Marvel Studios for 3 solo films is coming to an end. But he'll go out with a bang. The movie will throw Tom Holland's Spider-Man into the multiverse where he will meet characters from previous Spider-Man franchises, specifically the Sony version starring Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield respectively. While Maguire and Garfield aren't technically confirmed cast members, we're probably getting a live-action version of the Spider-Man pointing me. We do know that Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, Jamie Foxx's Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Matt Murdock from the Netflix TV show Daredevil will all appear in No Way Home. The first trailer also revealed for the first time that we'll get to see versions of the Green Goblin, Sandman, and Lizard, and there are a few hints that we may finally get a live-action rendering of a beloved version of Spidey from the comics, Miles Morales. We do know that Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, will play a pivotal role in the film. When a Spidey villain reveals Spider-Man's secret identity, Peter Parker pleads with the Strange to use magic to reverse the revelation. Things go predictably awry from there. As is expected for such a highly anticipated flick, plenty of rumors have been swirling around about what's going to happen. Past Spider-Man could be returning to their roles, villains are making a comeback, and plot details have been predicted and debated online thoroughly. Now that we have the first official footage, we can attempt to prove some of these theories right and even add more fuel to the fire for others. However, while some clues were obvious, there are plenty of things you might have missed from the 3-minute trailer. 5 of such missable details include the following. Number 5. The Daredevil is in the details. It has long been rumored that Charlie Cox would appear in Spider-Man No Way Home, reprising his role as Matt Murdock and the blind hero Daredevil from the Netflix series. While we haven't seen Cox for sure, we think he makes a sneaky appearance just 30 seconds into the trailer. The camera conveniently hides a character's face as they slam legal documents in front of Peter Parker, given that Matt Murdock has represented Peter Parker as the lawyer in other Spider-Man media before, and the rumors we've seen, which have suggested Cox will only be on screen for 10 minutes or so, we can't help but feel as this is Cox making his return. To add to our theory, as Peter seemingly walks to court at the latter point in the trailer, we see a sign that reads Devil in Disguise. Is this reading too much into a minor detail? Maybe, but we can only be wrong about the devilish character showing up in the MCU so many times before we get it right. Number 4. Ready for a jump scare. If you've ever tried to accurately present the MCU films chronologically, you'll know how tough it is to decipher how much time passes between each film. However, the Spider-Man films have done a great job of giving us an accurate idea of how much off-screen development there has been since we last saw the characters. Case in point, based on the Halloween decorations that we see inspire Peter to seek out the help of Doctor Strange, we can infer that the main events of No Way Home take place around October. This would mean we're seeing the very immediate fallout of Far From Home's ending, which would have just happened just a few months before. It was set during the American summer, so around June to August. Number 3. Apple a Day won't keep Doc Ock away. While it would be hard to miss the return of Alfred Molina as Doc Ock at the end of the trailer, what you might not have clocked in is that his costume is identical to the one he wore in Spider-Man 2 starring Tobey Maguire. This, alongside Doctor Strange's comments about the multiverse and Doc Ock's recognition of Peter, indicate that this could indeed be the exact version of the character we've met before. This would be very different to what we saw previously with actors like JK Simmons, who may have come back to play Jonah Jameson in Far From Home, but it's playing a different variant to his first outing as the character. While this could just be because he then suits up in the CGI Iron Spider suit, we can't help but feel Tom Holland looks a little weird at this part of the trailer too. Our spider sense makes us believe that Doc Ock's Hello Peter isn't aimed at Holland's Peter Parker. The editing of the trailer makes it appear as though he is, but we don't think these snippets flow one after the other. This is a trick Marvel has pulled before, such as swapping the Hulkbuster armor for the Hulk in Avengers Infinity War trailers to keep us in the dark. Our view? Doc Ock, a.k.a. Octo Octavius, is talking to Maguire's version of Spider-Man instead, who has long been rumored to appear in No Way Home. Otto would easily recognize Maguire's Parker, so we think this is a simple misdirect to try and throw us off the scent. Nice try, Marvel and Sony. Number 2, Electro will strike twice. While we don't technically see Electro himself as far as we can tell, we do know that Jamie Foxx is returning to the character in this film, and lightning blasts are seen at multiple points during the No Way Home trailer. What's interesting though is that they are distinctively yellow color, much like those that appear in the comics, rather than the blue electricity Fox's character used in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Unlike Doc Ock, it seems like this could be an entirely new Electro variant and would support Fox's comments that he won't be blue in this one. That gives us hope that Sony, and Marvel by extension, will portray the character as he's intended from the comics and not the weird CGI individual we got in Andrew Garfield's second Spidey flick. And at number 1, the Sinister Six. With Doc Ock, Electro, and a surprise teaser from Green Goblin all making an appearance in the trailer, that means the MCU is just one Spider-Man villain away from a classic villain team-up, the Sinister Six. That is, if you include MCU Spider-Man villains Vulture and Mysterio. The group's members have changed multiple times over the years in the comics, so we can't pin down just one villain who could fill out the roster. However, another trailer moment could help us narrow it down to just 3. At 2:26, we see Peter Parker be attacked by a shadowy figure who lets out an animalistic roar. If we had to put money on it, we'd hazard a guess at this being Lizard, Scorpion, or Rhino. 3 Sinister Six members who could round out a team. Rhino and Lizard both appeared in the Amazing Spider-Man film series, while Mac Gargan, the real alter ego of Scorpion, has actually appeared in the MCU already. Gargan was trying to buy weapons from Adrian Toomes, a.k.a. Michael Keaton's Vulture, back in Homecoming, but was thwarted by Spider-Man. His character was sent to prison and vowed revenge on Peter, so perhaps he is finally getting it. Alternatively, it could be another iconic Spider-Man villain, and it's one we've seen in live-action form on a couple of occasions now, Venom. Ever since the trailer landed online, a debate has raged online about whether this unknown character is Tom Hardy's Venom or not. It seems that some fans believe Eddie Brock's anti-hero pseudonym will work his way into the MCU, and given Hardy's previous comments about a Spider-Man Venom crossover, it's plausible that this is it. Still, if we had to pick someone from these options, we'd plump for Lizard. We've only got one connection to the Amazing Spider-Man movies in Electro so far. If Sony and Marvel want No Way Home to be a celebration of every live-action Spidey franchise to date, Lizard's inclusion would help to balance things out nicely. And that is it for today's video. There's something just so enjoyable in having goosebumps and the hair on your arm standing in response to a superhero scare. Do you enjoy superhero flicks just as much as we do? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like the video and to join in the next time for another dose of such interesting yet informational content. Hoping to see you again soon. Thank you and goodbye.